Hey mages, welcome to today's video. Today we're playing what quite possibly is my favourite deck currently in Bloomburrow Standard. It was the first deck that I put together when doing the early access event a few weeks back before the set got released, and it is a mono black discard mid-range deck with a cheeky combo in as well. So what I found was when I was playing mono black discard, while it was very good, I felt like I always needed like an extra kind of wincon. So we're playing the one that we all know about now, Rush of the Dread, and in combination with Bloodletter of Alcazots. You just need this on the battlefield and then casting Rush of the Dead where target opponent loses half their life rounded up, and then you just automatically win with that combo. So that is like our cheeky combo separate wincon that we do have in there. Also, what's different to most of the very common discard decks that you see in a moment, I also run Maha, because I feel like this is an absolute beatdown creature and great at the top end. 5 mana, 6/5 flying trampler. The ward is on theme. Discard a card when they want to, if we manage to deplete their hand, they just can't kill it potentially sometimes with an instant sorcery spell, kill spell. So creatures your opponents control have base toughness 1 as well. So not only does it shrink stuff down, it makes it a bit easier to kill with some of our creatures if we do get some on the field. This being 6/5 trample, it doesn't take many of these hits just to literally win the game with as well. Now you'll notice I am not running Sheoldred in it. I thought I'd just be a little bit different, not have Shelly in the deck. We all know how good that card is, so if you want that in there and you haven't got the combo cards, that is definitely a card that I would recommend putting in there because we all know how good that is. But the main card that I saw from Bloomburrow when it came out was Bandit's Talent that I really wanted to build around. If you've been following the channel for quite a while, you do know that, I play a lot of mono black on the channel as well. I am a blue mage, but I do love mono black decks. And this class is just class for me. Uncommon card. Talent, when it enters, each opponent discards 2 cards unless they discard an on-land card. Then just 1 power-up level. Beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player's fewer cards in hand, 1 or fewer, they lose 2 lives. So a couple of these on the field, they're not legendary, can be a great wincon as well, as long as you're depleting hands. And the 4 mana is drawing you extra cards potentially as well. So putting that level 3 on there is just good as well for the late game when you need to draw what you need. What else do we have in there? Well, more of the discard package that is very well known. Hopeless Nightmares in there. We do have Duress as well. New from the new set Bloomburrow, Cruel Claws Heist, where if you gift a card, you potentially then can cast a card that you take out of hands as well. So that is just a really cool effect. And for 2 double black mana, this is just the perfect deck for that as well. So we do only have that as a couple of in there. We can also deplete hands with Deep Cavern Battle. Doesn't stay on the field long enough, but at least it lets you know what opponent is doing, and then we can sort of work our way around that and knowing when to play the Bloodletter, and potentially if we can get that on there, because you really want to be playing Bloodletter. If you're not just putting it on there just to sort of help out, then you really want this Rush of Dread in hand ready to play next turn to give you the best chance of getting that combo win as well. Hostile Investigator is a great card to come in as well into the deck. 4/3 stats is nice as well. It's not legendary, so we can get multiples on the field, which is why we run 4 of these. And then it enters target opponent discards a card when 1 or more cards discarded. Investigate, but it only triggers once each turn, but it gives us another way to draw cards with the artifact there as well. Liliana, of course, getting that in there. 3 mana Planeswalker. Liliana, very strong Planeswalker. The +1, each player discarding the card. And obviously sometimes we have to use it as a removal spell. The -2, there's some big rampy decks out there and some very good aggro decks. Considered in the deck was like the, can't remember what it was, the 3 mana sorcery that would give everything -2/2 and everything like that. But I feel like we have Cut Down as a couple of as well. We got Feed the Cycle. And we really are hopefully depleting hands enough. Band's Talent coming in, so there's more discard. We're hopefully getting rid of creatures, and then turn 4 we can play a 4/3 ourselves, and then obviously a little 2-drop there. But once you start getting these bigger creatures in there, Bloodletter of Alcazots, and this one as well, the Deepest Betrayal, Flying Lifelink, a couple of hits with that gets you back into a game. We have a single of Consumed by Greed. Target opponent sacrifices a creature with Grace Bound. If the gift was guarded, we get to return target creature card. So in there, one of it's actually been quite quite good. So I played this, as you'll see from the gameplay coming up. I possibly might want to put 2 in there because it's a good way to get Bloodletter back potentially as well, and then you can assemble the discard. But the idea of this deck is plain and simple. It's really depleting opponents' hands, and then basically we will just leave them with nothing to play where they're top drawing, which is what, they're relying on the top draw gods to actually give them the cards they need. Sometimes opponents will find it, but then we have the combo and we have good creatures at the end to just peck away and just get those wins in, and Maha can really get that done. Now we ran the lands, a couple of Cavern of Souls against the control decks out there. We want to be naming, preferably sometimes is naming the Vampire Demon to get on there. But it's mainly in there for that, or if you want to get your Maha, you look at what's in your hand basically, but it is really counter protection to play your Bloodletter and make sure it doesn't get countered. We've got a couple of Mirrex that can make a few little 1/1s, which is nice just to peck away with as well. It's just a good utility card. And then 20 Swamp, so not too harsh on the old rare lands on this one, just a 4 there, which is pretty sweet. All in all, this deck is really fun to play as well. Not fun for your opponents because you want to leave them with no cards in hands, and this is hopefully, there's a lot of discard decks out there, but this has got a slightly little different twist on it, so I hope you enjoy the gameplay coming up. If you do want to give a big shout out, if you want to give any of these cards in paper, check out my sponsors, Cardmarket. I'd appreciate that. All helps out the channel just by going and have a look with the links in the description. And if you want to become a Patreon as well, you can drop deck lists into Patreon and stuff like that, and then hopefully I put them together. I do deck doc text and stuff like that. But thank you to everyone that supports that way, and if just thumbs up, liking the video, liking and subscribing helps really cool. But that's enough of that. Let's get on to the gameplay. So here we go. Opening hand, we got a Duress, Hopeful Nightfare. Pretty good opening hand here. We're going to have a look what opponent has had and start with the discard straight away. So, Ancient Cornucopia, Herd Migration there, a Quintosaurus Canned as well. So, this potentially could be an interesting build. Now, the gameplay here was from the early access event recently. Just the first chance I've had to record the video and get it all up for you. Bandit's Talent. Now, like I said, this is a card that I absolutely love, and it has been all over Standard. But this discard deck, I hope you find, is a little bit different. We have an in discard with a combo. So pretty cool. Up the beanstalk. Played for opponent. Looking to play those big mana spells. We're going straight in Hopeless Nightmare and deplete our opponent's hand even more. So discard a card and lose 2 life. Some really good uncommon cards and common cards at the moment in Standard. And I think definitely Mono Black is playing some cool ones. Cornucopia is not a card that I've really seen played much. 4 mana now. We could uptick the Bandit's Talent. We do have another Hopeless coming in. Decided to hold back on the Investigator just yet. And then we can obviously use that to scry ability, find some more potential cards. Opponent comes in with Quintosaurus Canned, which is definitely a Planeswalker that I don't really see play too much. I thought it was pretty cool when it got spawned. And yeah, in paper form initially it was a decent price, but it's definitely dropped down now. I remember pulling quite a few of those when that set came out, and I was like, pulled a 4-1, I was like, yes! Spelunking. That's what I'm saying, it's not just us that are playing really cool uncommons, enchantments. There's a lot of decent cards in Standard now, with when you look at Up the Beanstalk, Spelunking, Hopeless Nightmare, cards like that, which are really powerful uncommon cards. And common cards. So I think the next play probably will be the Hostile Investigator, but we do draw Lily, of course. So getting Lily on, apparently there's a lot of stuff going on there. We can discard. We don't mind discarding the Consumed by Greed. At the moment, there's not much going on in this game on board-wise. We can just start to get the opponent down and then eventually, hopefully, tick up the talent to level 3. Another Cornucopia for opponent, and we just draw another land. We can play our Hostile. Opponent loses that last card, which was a Sunfall. So Lily on the field. We can uptick, or we could potentially get that creature taken away, which then means, you know, +1 again. But I think the discard to tick up again and potentially leave the Instigator back. If we can ultimate Lily, then that'd be pretty good. Opponent coming in. We just want to block. We want to protect Lily at the moment, because obviously they can just keep making creatures. Unfortunately, we just draw another land, but we can draw a card with the clue token, if needs be. To see what we do. We probably, I mean, maybe we could scry first. Decided not to do that. And let's get another land out of the deck, eh? Definitely put this up to 4, I think, is maybe the better option. So paying the 4 mana to tick up to the 3rd counter on that. Target player could sacrifice a creature. We are on 5. You know, obviously, we're better off getting it there, making opponent have to attack Lily, because they don't really want the -6. Gaining life for opponent with a cornucopia, but obviously the Beanstalk does draw a card as well, which is why it's such a strong enchantment card. So Lily goes down to 3 loyalty. Another 3/2 goes up. But with our talent on the field, this is the card that hopefully will bring us back into this game. A land from opponent. We do now get to draw 2 cards, and 2 decent cards there. Maha. I absolutely love Maha. I mean, we could play it. They have nothing in hand, so we probably don't mind discarding that. We could -2, get rid of 1 creature. But we're definitely going to be playing Maha. The big 6/5 Trampler. The game winner for us. One of our game winners. Discarding, we got our opponents down to 0 cards in hand, which is what obviously this deck wants to do. It's powerful at doing that. Get rid of 1 of these creatures, so Lily potentially can survive. Another Beanstalk. Opponent drawing multiples of everything. But that is pay 2, draw a card. And they brought another Spelunkin as well. So yeah, definite opponent stuck drawing multiples of certain cards. Discover 4. Oh, funny enough, there's another Spelunkin. There goes our opponent's 3rd Spelunkin, 3rd Beanstalk, I think it is, and Cornucopia is a couple of, but they do now got 2 cards in hand. So we draw the cut down. We can kill the 3/1. Look at opponent's hand first. Now, with gift a card here, we do potentially get to play it. So I don't mind gifting a card, and then, well, Trumpeting Carnosaur is the easy option there for us to take that. 6 mana, massive dino. Kill the token. Discard, of course. Opponent's got a land to discard. It's not too bad. We can kill Quintosaurus potentially. But getting opponent down to 13 is obviously an option as well, because it's not going to take many hits with the talent on them for us as well. But they do have Season of Gathering. I do like the season cards. I think they're all pretty cool, but I think getting rid of Can is good because they can just keep making creatures with that. End turn. Zap the opponent for 2 life. They certainly pulled their enchantments, our opponent here, buying a 94 MTG. But we're looking pretty good. We can activate this, sacrifice it, scry 2, Deep Cavern Bat and another Maha. Probably don't need the Maha, but the Deep Cavern Bat is not bad because it decided not to play the seasons. We could go straight in Carnosaur, but I prefer just really to take that out of hand. Not sure why they didn't play. But that really does help us out. Get rid of their land. Attack in with Maha. Bang. Down 2 life again. Opponent at 9 life. We're barring big removal. We're in. Game 1. GG's. Deck work brilliant in there. And we're on to game 2. So, Bloodletter in hand. Couple of Bloodletters. We're going for the combo here. We've got really good opening hands here. We've got the bat, talent coming in turn 2, early removal as well in cut down. So all in all, although only 2 lands, it's not terrible. Cavern of Souls, in case we're playing any kind of control. But there is a mouse. Okay, let's kill the mouse. Straight in. Land is a cracking draw. Go in with a cavern, see what our opponent has. Mouse. So Raging Valley Quest Caller. And then Sword. Let's get rid of that one. Still Raging in there. Means the spells cost less. Ooh, a Heist as well. None too shabby, that one. Put it on the old demon. We can fly over the top. Gift a card again. I really like the Heist. Gifting a card is nice, but they draw the card first, and then you get to take something. And we're just going to leave opponent with lands now, so perfect. And we can actually play, because it's any colour. Get that in there and attack in, because it's flying. Gain a life. Lovely. Now, land will be perfect. Opponent obviously has a lot of lands, so top drawer to Raging. A couple of Raging Mouse. Hopeless Nightmare is okay. Just gets rid of one of those lands. But it does drain for 2 as well. And then we can play the talent as well. Which then does what the deck does. Opponent now with Jazz Hands. No cards in hand. We've managed to deplete. Just checking that there's no reach anywhere. Never know, those mice might be able to jump up and grab my bat. Opponent top draws another land and just quits. This is what this deck can do. Just take away the cards. On to the next game. Decent hand. 2 hopeless draws and a cavern. Was going to need land though. So this is still a very good hand. We can get rid of Maha or Alcott. Probably, I think Alcazotz is the card to get rid of. We want to keep the duress, keep our ways to deplete opponent's hand. We get no witnesses. Our only choice, but there's a Novice Inspector and some Vipers. Okay, so let's start the discard happening. Inspector comes in. Another duress is a kill pool. Opponent can draw a card, of course. Know what's in their hand already. Glistening Deluge, but we're going to take one of those rots. Because rot is a very good card. And, yeah. 6 mana, we're a far way off, but we're not too worried about that. Now, we can get the Glistening out if we decide to. We've got a duress there. Not really worried about that too much at the moment. Tiny Bones. Okay. Now, probably, we have to resolve this. Get rid of the duress. Because we know, what's one card we don't know about, but it's not terrible, really, to get rid of that at the moment. Being hit with a Novice. Boom. Pecks away. Another Maha isn't brilliant. So, stuck on a bit of land. Opponent's got the land, obviously, to play. So, yeah, we need to draw a bit of action going on here. Maybe a Bandits. We have one bit of removal, but not really worth putting on the Novice Inspector. So that's quite a 17-turn clock there. In comes Case. And it's going to put a bit more pressure on now. Need land. Yep, there's one land. So 1 to go, please. So still got Feed the Cycle. Take the 3. Use the life as a resource. Top draw land will be perfect to get Maha down. It would kill the tokens. Well, no, it wouldn't kill the tokens, but yeah, this is one that we definitely want to be killing. So we do have 2 Maha's in hand. So just pay the extra, because why not? Kill that Rotten. Triggers nothing. Land from the top. Yes, land from the top. It's Maha time. Ooh-ah, Maha. Let's go. 6-5 tramp. We've got 2 in hand as well, so it's pretty sweet. One of the coolest arts in the set, I have to say as well. So, Case of the Stash Skeleton is a decent card that, like, when it's solved, sacrifice search for a card, put it in your hand. So probably something to do with Maha, I'm thinking. You don't even get to see it either. Oh, Lily. Lily minus. Okay. Well, lucky we got 2. Alright, there is a Cavern of Souls. So, Demon. We're going to play the Rotten. I actually think it was a bit of a misplay there, really, to be honest. I probably should have played Maha with Liliana on the field. So, yeah, that was a terrible misplay there by me. I should have just played Maha first. Because I lose my Maha. So, apologise for that. That was not a good play. Just rushed in, getting the 6 mana, just thought, Viper, play the card. But important to get more creatures on the field with Liliana there, because they can just make a sack. So even the opponent has nothing in hand, we still might as well get the Deep Cavern Bat on there. We can also make a Mirror's Token. Not going to worry about Lily too much. Just want to smash in with a 6/6. Opponent sacks their Nightmare. Scry to find the answer. We've got Mirrix to make another token as well, so... Opponent blocks, of course. Doesn't want to go to 10. And that's it. We had big stuff on the board. Opponent just quits, but hey, GG's. Sweet win. On to the next game. Open hand Duress. This is nice. We got Remove in hand. We got another Hopeless. We got some War Leaders. Cool. Oh, that was a clutch card to take out straight away. Pull another Investigator is nice. Hopeful Nightmare. Hopeless Nightmare. Hopeful? It's not hopeful. It's hopeless for the opponent anyway, not for us. Opponent gets rid of a cool creature. In comes the Scoundrel. Drawing our lands here. Pretty sweet. We need to find one more land to be able to play our Investigators. Get those hostiles in. Coming in for 1. Yeah, it's a target for Feed the Cycle. Which, of course, we will kill. Okay, Liliana. Straight into the discard. We can get rid of possibly Rush to Dead, but we won the combo. We've got two of those creatures, so I think it's fair to get rid of one. Loyalty up to 4. 2 cards in hand. Opponent. Anim is a good draw. Coming in with another. So opponent manages to deplete their own hand, but they do get threats onto the field now. Comes in attacking. Look to be in a bit of bother. I mean, discard possibly. We could kill Liliana. They get rid of a token. We could make them sack half their creatures, so go down to 2. But I think even though no discard there, because opponents already got no cards in hand, it's whether killing Lily's worth it for this. I mean, possibly just to cut it down, and a less creature on there. Anim creatures can get big, can get a bit of a hand on him. So this means attacking. Doesn't want to risk Anim coming in though. Comes in with 2 now. Anim's up to there. Attempt to just kill the Scoundrel. Getting a little bit flooded here. Another land. could make opponent go down to 2 creatures. It's definitely an option. Have a quick look at Annam. X is number 1 counters on Annam, so just going to keep making loads of creatures. Really need to find removal for it. If we can. Opponent can draw a card. Yeah, starting to flood the board now, so in a little bit of bother. We need, I don't know what we need. We need to draw the combo. It's probably going to be our only way out of this if we can. There is Bloodletter, but I don't think we're going to get enough, you know, big enough turn. We're just going to take too much of attacking, depending on what opponent pulls here. Because we're going to be 2 turns away. Upkeep, play the Zots, and then rush it to get. So if we're lucky, you know, we've got the win, but we've got it in 2 turns, so he might just be a little bit slow. Opponent has really, you know, sort of managed to amass their board. Coming all in, of course. It's up to a 4-5. Just 2. We're just being flooded too much. We're going to be a turn too short to get the win. Any card like with the -2/2 to all creatures or anything like that would have helped us big time. But it's just a little bit too slow because we'd have to block the 4-5 here. You do it, sack it, so they got half their creatures down. But at the end of the day, we still lose, unfortunately. 1 away from the combo. Then we could have had the win, but no, we concede there. Unfortunately, we go out on a defeat, but the deck worked really well. We were just a little bit away from the combo on that last show there. Bit of a shame, but opponent did flood the board when we were just stuck beating all those little 1/1 little critters there. But I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you want to get any of these cards in paper, please take a look at my sponsors, Cardmarket. You can get all your needs on there. Just go through the link in the description. All deck lists are in my Moxfield, so please give me a follow on Moxfield, and then you can keep up to date with all of my decks. And of course, if you want to support me, become a Patreon. I really would appreciate that. From as little as $1 a month, you can go and do that. And there's like little things you can do on there, deck lists, I can give you doc text, anything like that. Play Magic with me as well. So I would appreciate that, and thank you to everyone that does. But you lot take care, and I'll see you on the next video.